Hey, I'm Kai, and today I am excited to be checking out the Night Terror Overdrive pedal by Spooky Vibes Effects. This pedal has recently spiked in popularity after showing up on Will Putney's pedal board in the Better Lovers rig rundown. It is an overdrive pedal, but it sort of has a honed-in focus on boosting high-gain amps. So I'm going to make use of my new KHE amp switcher, and I'm going to try out this pedal through a bunch of different amps today. We have the EVH 5153, the Victory Kraken, the ENGL Powerball II, and the orange Rockerverb 100. We're going to start out with what I consider to be the litmus test for an amp tightening overdrive pedal, the 5153. Mine is the 50-watt version, and I've got it set up on the blue channel with just enough gain that it does sort of chug on its own. It's still undergained enough though that there is plenty of scope left to boost it. The controls on the Night Terror are super straightforward. It's pretty standard for an overdrive pedal really. You have your volume, you have your tone and your level. You also have a bass cut feature as well as a clipping switch. While dialing this one in, I found out you can actually set it up to sound super transparent, almost to the point where you can't tell if it's on or off. This is a good thing to be aware of because it means that the raw tone of your pedal isn't colouring the sound too much. We'll hear it on this transparent tone and then we'll dial it in for a metal boost instead. As you can hopefully tell, it wasn't doing a ton there, but if we bring the drive up a little bit and boost the tone, we can get a nice amount of detail out of the amp and give it a little bit of extra saturation. Now there is also a low end control on this one that can take your tone from tight to fat. I believe this is an active EQ section that can both cut the bass as well as boost it. The midway point isn't doing an awful lot to my tone, but we'll cut it and see what that does. One thing I ought to mention here is that the rotary knob takes quite a lot of force to turn. Let's also hear what this one sounds like boosted just while we're here. Found myself enjoying that one with it boosted slightly through this guitar and this amp anyway. It's also worth switching out to something a little bit lower tuned just to see how this pedal fares through the 5153. This is my 30-inch scale length Balaguer Growler, which is currently tuned down to drop E. Typically for extreme low tunings like this, you want to cut the bass even harder because that super low end build up gets muddy quick. Let's hear this unboosted first, and then we'll hear it boosted. Let's try one more clip just while we've got this all set up. I'd say it actually fares quite nicely in super low tunings like drop E. Really, that bass cut comes in clutch. With the drive down low like this, the clipping control won't really do much, so I'm now going to switch over to my Victory Kraken instead on a lower gain tone, so that we can push the drive up on the pedal. This is far from a tight metal tone going on the amplifier. We've got a crunchy distortion kind of thing. This is largely set up so that we can push it the rest of the way with the pedal, but let's hear what it sounds like anyway. Let's hear what it sounds like with the Night Terror engaged with the drive up much higher. Now, I'm not completely sure what the two different clipping modes are on this, but I can say the left mode is more of a classic overdrive kind of thing, while the right mode leans more towards fuzzy kind of tones. The left is also a little bit more full range, while the right is more filtered. I think I prefer this one with it set to the left, but I could really go either way on this one. I'm just going to dial in one more quick tone with this while we've got the Kraken running. So this is it running through the Kraken's clean channel. The Night Terror does lean more towards those brighter sorts of tones, but that does make a lot of sense when you're thinking about it in the context of boosting a high gain amp. Now we're going to go for a slightly more challenging tone and see if the Night Terror can tidy up my Powerball II on a thick high gain setting. Now gain wise, this is going to be the perfect spot for the amp to take a boost pedal with plenty of headroom up front, but it is going to be a little bit too thick. In this next clip of just the amp, you'll hear the low end bloom a little bit. We'll turn the bass cut on the pedal pretty sharply towards the tight section, we'll bring the drive back a little bit and we'll boost the level. This is a really nice tone, but you'll notice as we start cutting a lot of that bass, we lose some drive. So let's make up for it with the drive knob. Let's just hear a quick before and after with the pedal bypassed first and then enabled. It's not doing an absolute ton there, but what it is doing is it's clearing up a lot of that super subby thick low end and adding its own tight mid-range focus to it. The last amp I have today is the orange Rockerverb, and I've set this one overgained, so there's not really that much headroom in the front end of the amplifier. Now we are not going to be able to boost this one into modern metal territory just because the amplifier is already at its absolute limit. Still, for the first clip we are going to cut the bass, we're going to keep the drive nice and low and just see what this is doing. While filming that last bit, I broke a string on the Woodman, so I'm switching back to the PRS S2 in drop C. I guess we'll have to hear the amp again unboosted, just with this guitar instead. Now let's hear it boosted. Now for the second clip here, I want to dial it in more towards Putney's settings, so we'll bring up the boost more towards the fat section, we'll raise the drive nice and high, and we'll get some gnarly sounding hardcore stuff going. That is incredibly gnarly. It's able to take a super thick overgain tone like the Rockerverb and even add a little bit of extra sparkle to it. Now onto the conclusion, and this is a sponsored demo as Spooky Vibes offered me a partial discount in exchange for this demo. I have been itching to get my hands on this one ever since I saw that Better Lovers rig rundown, and it absolutely lives up to the hype. I really like how this one works, and the low control especially is huge for me. It doesn't get into that harsh high mid peak thing like the 1433 or the 14 grind does. It stays in its own lane and really just embellishes the amplifier. It focuses on tightening up your tone without imparting too much of its own thing. But then when you start to turn the drive up, it does start having its own characteristic, and I really like that into the front end of high gain amps specifically. My only real gripes about this pedal is that I wish the volume knob had a little bit more output to it so that you could really slam the front end of your amplifier, and I also wish the low knob didn't have as much tension attention to it as it does. I guess it's nice that you won't accidentally bump this one, but it does take an awful lot of thoughts to turn. Overall though, I found the Night Terror to be the perfect drive if what you're looking for is a nice bit of polish to your tone and just tighten things up a little bit. That's all for this video, so let me know what you thought of the Spooky Vibes Night Terror in the comment section down below. I will leave a link in the description box to their website if you would like to check it out for yourself. Until next time, I've been Kai.